let me say congratulations, Councilman Tracus, for being elected as presiding officers. It was really exceptional to see the County Council working together in a bipartisan and collaborative manner at the last meeting, and I hope you can keep your momentum going forward.
Thank you, Mr. County Executive, and big shoes to fill, but thank you very much.
Thanks. I'd like to update the council on some of the things that have been going on in our administration over the past week. Yesterday, I met with Governor Parson, and we discussed several issues that are important to St. Louis County, and actually a lot of items that we agree on, including economic development, workforce development, and infrastructure. And some of the legislation that passed in the last legislative session actually will be bringing some more money into East-West Gateway for the St. Louis region, and St. Louis County will be competing for some of that. The workforce development legislation will also be something that we'll be accessing, and I think it's a very exciting opportunity for all of us. Another one of our administration's goals is to untangle the financial mess that we've been left with in St. Louis County government. We're grateful that State Auditor Nicole Galloway has agreed to audit, or at least do a risk audit of St. Louis County government and also of the economic partnership. It's even more important to recognize that Auditor Galloway has agreed to start this in June. That is a big opportunity and development for St. Louis County, and we will certainly pledge our full cooperation of St. Louis County government to participate in the conduct of these important audits. Last week was also an important victory for public health in St. Louis County. Councilman Tracus and Councilman Finch and Councilwoman Clancy joined me at Hickman High School when I signed the legislation to make it more difficult for minors to purchase e-cigarettes in St. Louis County. Unfortunately, we've learned over the past year that some retailers aren't checking IDs, and minors have had access to e-cigarettes, and we've had an explosion of vaping devices in our public schools. This bill sends a clear message that the sale of electronic cigarettes to minors won't be tolerated in St. Louis County, and we're going to hold retailers who sell to minors accountable with stiffer penalties and fines. It was just great to see how Councilwoman Clancy and Councilman Tracus worked together to get bipartisan support for this bill, and it was supported unanimously by all council members. I also want to inform the council and our residents about the dip in revenue of the 1 cent countywide sales tax. Through May, our forecast is that this sales tax will be down $3.15 million compared to last year in St. Louis County. And this will be a dip in revenue to St. Louis County government of about $1 million. And this situation certainly warrants close monitoring. There are a variety of economic forces that have contributed to this. We suspect that the rise in e-commerce is significantly impacting our sales tax revenue in St. Louis County. It's really too early for us to talk about making any adjustments in our budget, but we'll definitely be monitoring this closely, and we'll keep you updated on the revenue situation. I want to take a moment to salute our terrific county employees, and recognizing the value and great work that they do on behalf of our residents is very important to county government. It's very important to my administration. We are currently looking for ways to highlight some of the outstanding things that our county employees do. To that end, we invite our workers to weigh in with suggestions on this or any other matters involving county government. One of the best ways to make suggestions is to respond to the survey that went out this week. We sent this survey to 4,000 county employees, and so far we have 1,500 responses. We encourage all of you to make your opinions known, and this survey will close on May 31st. Speaking of outstanding county employees, I want to acknowledge 5 members of the St. Louis County Police Department's Pipes and Drums Unit who went beyond the call of duty when in Washington, D.C. last week for the Police Week Memorial event. The 5 officers, Detective David Sandbach, Officer Chris Steib, Detective John Spicer, Lieutenant Juan Gomez, and Retired Sergeant Dan Steele, jumped into action when they witnessed a street robbery, assisting other officers in capturing and arresting a suspect. These officers made our police department proud and made all the St. Louis region proud as well. And congratulations to these outstanding officers. And finally, I want to thank Councilwoman Clancy, who's vacationing with her family this week, for her work on Tower T. As you probably know, the new owners of the Afton property intend to preserve it as a baseball and golf complex. Tower T is an important neighborhood and asset, and Lisa actively engaged the community and set an example on how to lead on a very difficult issue. And I want to thank everyone who came to the council to express their concerns. Public input is important and encouraged. Thank you very much.